Welcome to Serenity Rising Healing with Cancer. I'm Bron Watson, and I want to welcome you to not just a podcast, but to a community, a new way of seeing, feeling, and walking through the chaos of cancer. Hi, lovely people, and welcome back to Serenity Rising. Whether you've just received a diagnosis, or you're somewhere in the middle of treatment, or you're supporting someone you love through the hardest thing they've ever had to face, or you're in remission yourself and still carrying that particular kind of quiet uncertainty that no one prepares you for, this podcast is for you. Today, I want to do something a little different. I want to take you right back to the beginning to tell you exactly what the Serenity Project is, why it exists, and most importantly, what we stand for. Because if you're going to trust me with your time and your energy, I think you deserve to know who you're walking alongside. On the 23rd of February 2023, I sat in a doctor's room and heard the words, "Yes, you have cancer," again. It wasn't the first time, because 5 years earlier, I'd had breast cancer. Diagnosis, surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, anxiety, the whole thing. I'd reached that 5-year milestone that feels like being handed a permission slip to get back to your life. I thought I'd done the work. I thought I knew what it meant to get through something. But this second time was different. This time I was told my cancer was incurable, not a fight I could win or walk away from. A chronic disease, something to be managed for the rest of my life. I won't pretend I handled it gracefully, because I didn't. I cried my eyes out. I searched the sky for answers that just weren't there. I went through all the things you go through when the ground shifts beneath you in a way you didn't think was possible, a never-ending spiral. But somewhere in those early weeks, I started to realize something. There was an enormous gap between what the medical system could offer me, which was real and I'm very, very grateful for, but what I actually needed to feel like a whole human being again. I need somewhere where I could ask the quiet questions I needed, where science and soul with evidence and perspective lived. I needed a place that didn't ask me to choose. And that didn't exist, so I became the beta test of the Serenity Project. It'd been coming along for years, and I've actually been writing since 2016. I just didn't realize what I was writing for, but I now do. The Serenity Project, so here we go. So what is the Serenity Project? I want to be really clear about what it is and what it isn't. The Serenity Project is not a wellness program or a medical and advice line. It's not a place for toxic positivity. It's not a to-do list or a cure or some wacky idea to get yourself through this space. It's a place between the clinical world, the holistic world, the alternative world, soulful, call it what you will, but where everyone and everything is accepted, no one is dismissed, and where you're never asked to choose between anything. Because here's what I do know from being a nurse and an educator for decades, and from living inside cancer now for the past 8 years, most people are already trying to access both of these places. They're following their treatment plan and they're searching for complementary or alternative therapies. To me, it's all just therapy to make themselves feel more like themselves. They're sitting with their oncologist and they're lying awake at 3 a.m. asking, what does it all mean? And the Serenity Project is that space for all of it. It is for everyone touched by illness and disease. Now, you've heard me talk a lot about the concept that I keep coming back to again and again. I call it the blue line. You know the blue line when you pull out your phone and you put in the destination of healing into your Google Maps and that blue line appears? That blue line doesn't panic. It doesn't judge you for your detours, because the path of healing is not linear and it just doesn't follow what everyone else does. And guess what? It doesn't judge you when you take a detour. When you go off course, it just simply recalibrates. Just like if there's roadworks on a real Google map, what does it do? It recalibrates, but it always takes you back to where your destination is. In our case at Serenity Project, it's the path to healing. And that is exactly what we are all about. It's your own internal blue line, your GPS to healing, your way forward, whatever looks right for you. Not what looks like for Bron, but what looks right for you. I want to share something with you that sits at the heart of everything that we do here at Serenity Project. It's what we call our Serenity Framework. There are 8 principles, one for each letter, that governs this entire project. It's not tactics. It's not a marketing strategy. It's a set of commitments, a way of being, and this is our compass to help us find our GPS of healing. Now, S stands for space, the third space. the one I've just described. This is the most important commitment to hold the space of science and soul where evidence and perspective matter. We never advocate for one or the other. It's a space that we protect fiercely. Now, E stands for evidence. Everything we offer here is grounded in research where it exists and in genuine lived experience where it matters. Because when you're making decisions about your health, you deserve information you can actually trust. Dr. Google is great, ChatGPT is great, but we want to make sure that it's trustworthy. R is for refuge. This is a safe place for everyone who needs it, regardless of your diagnosis, your prognosis, your beliefs, your background, where you are in your journey. There is room for everyone here. Now, N is for narrative. Story is medicine. I genuinely believe that because when you hear someone else's story, you do feel less alone, and that is healing. And the thing is, of course, that everyone who's going through a journey of cancer, whether it be you, your loved one, and no matter where you are in it, your story is so unique and so valuable that there are lessons. The gold is all the way through it, and we'd love to hear your healing story. This podcast, the blog, the community, the book, they are all vehicles for the same truth because your story matters. Now, I is for impact. We are not here to build a big number. We're here to create genuine change in the way patients and their carers experience the journey of cancer. Does someone feel less afraid, more in control, more connected, more able to find calm in the chaos? That is the measure that matters most to me. Now, T is for trust. I take this very personally. You are trusting me with something very precious, your time, your attention, and some of the most vulnerable parts of your experience. And I do not take that lightly. And Y is for your serenity. The most important word in this is yours. There is no single map to healing, no correct way to navigate this, no cookie cutter approach, no to-do list, because what we offer is not a prescription. It's an invitation. You take what resonates and you leave the rest because you go at your pace, because your serenity is yours. It's not mine. You do not need the Bron Serenity. You need your serenity. And that is what SERENITY stands for. That's who we are. And when I say we, I'm talking about experts. I'm talking about people with lived experience. And we want to be able to pull those people together. My goal by the end of the year is to have my 12 experts with me guiding this ship of Serenity Project. And I'm well under the way, and I'm very excited to share that with you. I want to leave you with the prayer that has carried me through my darkest days. It's all I had. Some of you already know it. Some of you might change the first word to universe or source or love or dinners, whatever feels right for you, because that's the whole point. God, grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That prayer is the seed of everything here. Serenity is not about pretending things are fine. Back in the day, I actually thought it was a woo-woo word and I had no idea what it meant. But I now know that this very old-fashioned term is so important to everyone. It's not about fighting harder or pushing through. It's about learning slowly, imperfectly, with grace, to let the muddy waters settle so you can clearly see what you can control and what you can't, to find peace, not despite chaos, but inside it, one moment at a time. That's what we're building here. Community where you don't have to pretend, where science and soul sit at the same table, where your story is welcome, where healing looks like whatever it needs to look like for you. You are not broken. You are not behind. And you absolutely do not have to do this alone or have all the answers. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love you to share it with someone who might need it. What is something you have learned that someone else needs to hear? And I would love to invite you to join me here and have a great conversation on topics for those who are looking for more than what they have been given, who know they can live a life full out no matter what the diagnosis is. And if you're ready to go deeper, come and find us at serenityproject.com.au. Our community is waiting for you. So until next time, please be gentle with yourself. There is always enough. Now, on the next episode, we explore the 3 questions no one ever thinks they will ever have to answer. So keep an eye out for it. Be gentle with yourself today, because every moment matters, because moments make memories, and let's make every day count. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great having you here. And what I would love you to do is leave a comment or ask a question using my fan link below this episode and on every episode that we post. I would love to hear your thoughts, your questions, and I'll get back to you. Have a great day and bye for now.